Hey there, guys. I want to thank you for joining today's live stream as always. So, let me get this pulled up for you guys. So, for today, the topic is going to be a tad different than what we normally talk about. So, I've made a little bit of changes as to topics we're discussing for the next few weeks. Some of these topics will be a little bit different than what we would normally discuss in these streams. I'm sort of moving on into talking about more detailed aspects of how fitness really relates to your overall well-being in various parts of your body, not only just physically but also how it relates to you mentally. And that's what I'm going to discuss a little bit today. So I do want to, of course, mention my website as always, guys. My website is bponlinefitness.com. You can find all my information in regards to my online fitness coaching there. I have all of that information ready for you to read, to sort of go over. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Everything in there sort of discusses a little bit about the structure of the program. You can also book your consultation on there with me. You can sign up for the email list that I send out every week. I also send out offers and reminders of live streams when they do come out each and every week in my email list. So that's a great way for you to stay updated with everything that I do in regards to online coaching. And of course, most of this stuff is free. The consultation that you book is free, as well as signing up for the email newsletter. So, this is all information that you can sort of take with you. If you do want to learn more about online coaching, you can schedule that consultation. That consultation is no charge. And then from there, we can sort of discuss pricing and sort of your commitment level into an online fitness coaching program. So, with all that being said, guys, let's go ahead and get into discussing today's topic, which is going to be about physical activity and cognitive function. So, cognitive function is basically in relation to brain health, how physical activity can impact your brain health in positive ways. So, these are some of the topics that we're going to sort of touch on today. We're going to, of course, do an introduction on what we're discussing, go over blood circulation, how exercise can enhance oxygen delivery, So I forgot to put the other topic there. So we've got mood regulation, self efficacy, and self esteem, sleep and rest, and then stress and anxiety. So this is what we're going to sort of discuss today. So let's go ahead and get started with sort of an introduction and sort of going over a little bit about how physical health can impact your cognitive function. So, the connection between physical activity and cognitive function is profound and well documented. Engaging in regular exercise not only benefits the body but also has significant positive effects on brain health and cognitive abilities. So, this is something to keep in mind, especially as you age. Um, Physical activity is not necessarily just about getting, big. It's really about your overall health and your daily living, your quality of life, I guess you could say, in your daily life. So just keep in mind that exercise is not all about just the outward appearance and physique. It's really more in depth than that. So, blood circulation. And I know some of these topics sound like they may not be related to cognitive health, but they actually are. They place an important impact on a lot of the things that are in relation to the brain and how it affects the brain health when you perform physical activity. So, the first thing we're going to discuss here is blood circulation. So, one thing with cognitive function and physical activity is that there's an increased heart rate. So when you engage in physical activity, your muscles require more oxygen and nutrients to meet the increased demand for energy production to deliver these essential substances to the muscles. Your heart rate increases. The elevated heart rate ensures that your blood is pumped more rapidly throughout your body, facilitating greater circulation. So, this is helping to improve your circulation. Vasodilation. So, physical activity promotes the dilation of blood vessels, particularly those in active muscles. Vasodilation allows for increased blood flow to the muscles that are working, enhancing the delivery of oxygen and nutrients. This process helps to optimize muscle function and performance during exercise. So, when we're talking about all this, you may be wondering how this relates to cognitive function. So, the reason being is that blood circulation plays a big role in the brain, and it's helping to properly stimulate all of these parts of the bodies in relation to the blood in the veins in order for you to have proper blood circulation through your veins that go to your brain as well. So, the next topic here is enhanced oxygen delivery. So, this is kind of going into that blood circulation as well. So, during physical activity, your body's need for oxygen rises. Blood circulation ensures that your oxygen rich blood is efficiently transported from the lungs to the working muscles. The oxygen delivery supports aerobic metabolism, which is crucial for sustaining prolonged physical activity. So, the more that you sort of engage in physical activity, the more that you are giving sort of these benefits to your body. You're enhancing the oxygen delivery throughout your body. You're helping to sort of increase your blood circulation in your body when you're engaging in regular physical activity. So this stuff sort of compounds over time. Another thing here is mood regulation. So this again, we're sort of talking about more of the internal stuff that, exercise is helping with. So when we're talking about the brain, we just sort of mentioned about blood circulation and oxygen. Even though that may not sound like it plays an impact directly to cognitive health in relation to physical activity, it does, because when you have this proper circulation, you have proper oxygen delivery, which oxygen delivery is very important for the brain and cognitive health. It is in turn helping to improve cognitive health at the same time because you're improving blood circulation and oxygen delivery because your brain needs that. So another part of the brain is, we're focusing on a little bit of the mental health aspect of it. So when you're talking about, sort of mood regulation and sort of the parts that, how we mentally feel has another impact as it relates to cognitive function and physical activity. So mood regulation is one thing that is very beneficial that comes with regular physical activity. So physical activity, particularly aerobic exercise, stimulates the release of endorphins in the brain. Endorphins are neurotransmitters that act as natural painkillers and mood elevators. They can include feelings of euphoria and well being, which can help alleviate symptoms of stress, anxiety, and depression. So, sort of keep that in mind that this regular physical activity is helping to sort of regulate your mood better, to help you sort of overcome those feelings of stress and anxiety. Now, sort of keep in mind if you do have any sort of difficulties with mental health, of course, you do need to consult with a mental health professional. So keep that in mind at the same time. But just know that there is known, sort of benefits to exercise relating to mental health and mood regulation. So the next topic here is we've got self-efficacy and self-esteem. So self-efficacy and self-esteem is another thing that can be related to sort of your mental health and sort of your cognitive health as well, because this is basically how you feel about yourself. This is the thoughts that you sort of interpret about who you are as a person. So regular exercise can improve body image. You become more confident, in other words. Self-esteem and self-efficacy, achieving fitness goals, experience physical improvements, and mastering new skills are going to naturally boost confidence and self-worth, leading to a more positive outlook on life. This is very important overall for how you feel. You not only have mood regulation that, you're helping, when you engage in physical activity, but you're also feeling more confident in yourself because you are overcoming these barriers. You are growing. You are, you know, being able to see these physical improvements and feel the physical improvements at the same time is really important. So keep that in mind that exercise is really so much more than what is seen on the outside. It helps so much internally. So the next topic that we have here is in relation to sleep and rest. So we've got three different things that we're going to sort of touch on when it comes to sleep and rest. So circadian rhythm, physical activity helps regulates the body's eternal clock, or internal clock, I should say, known as the circadian rhythm. Exercising during the day can promote more regular sleep-wake cycles, making it easier to fall asleep at night and wake up feeling refreshed in the morning. Another thing in relation to sleep and rest, as it relates to physical activity, is reducing sleep disruptions. Regular physical activity can help reduce common sleep disruptive factors such as chronic pain, restless leg syndrome, and symptoms of depression. Again, it goes back into that depression and sort of the mental and cognitive health. So, by addressing these underlying issues, exercise can improve sleep quality and duration. Body temperature regulation. Exercise raises body temperature during and immediately after activity. As the body cools down post exercise, it signals to the brain that it's time to sleep. This drops in body temperature can facilitate the onset of sleep and promote deeper, more restful sleep. Again, when you have better sleep, you are going to naturally function better. You're going to be able to think better. And that goes back into that cognitive function. Sleep and rest have a very big impact on your cognitive function and the things that you do throughout your day. So when you have a normal physical activity routine, exercise routine, you're naturally going to sleep better. Your rhythm, your circadian rhythm is going to be better. You're going to have less sleep disruptions, and your body temperature is going to be more regulated. So I can say this for myself that I've experienced the same thing. Regular exercise does give you a more restful sleep because you are really, you're doing physical activity. So naturally, it can be, sort of exhausting, but it's not exhausting in a bad way. It's giving your body something to use. You having that energy to be able to, translate into rest. So sort of keep that in mind that sleep and rest plays an important role in, your overall brain health. And when you have regular physical activity, it's going to be very beneficial for that. Another thing is stress and anxiety. And again, this sort of goes back into what we just discussed a few slides ago when we talked a little bit about mood regulation. However, there's a few things that I do want to address in an extension to that. So, stress and anxiety. So, there's a release of neurotransmitters. So, this again sort of goes back to what we just discussed. But there's some other points that you need to sort of keep in mind when we're talking about these neurotransmitters and these endorphins. So exercise, of course, stimulates the release of neurotransmitters such as endorphins, serotonin, and dopamine. These chemicals are known to improve mood and reduce feelings of stress and anxiety. Now, we just sort of mentioned that. But another thing I want to mention is that when stress levels decrease, cognitive function often improves as well, as stress can impair attention, memory, and decision-making abilities. So, what we just discussed a few slides ago was some of the sort of feelings that you get from physical activity. So, how it makes you feel. But another thing, sort of in extension to that, is that you're helping to not only improve your mood, but you're also helping to improve your memory and then your ability to make decisions. You're going to make decisions more efficiently when you have proper physical activity in your daily routine. So that relates to that cognitive function that we've been talking about. So the other thing here we've got is the reduction of cortisol levels. Cortisol is a hormone released by the body in response to stress. Chronic elevation of cortisol levels can have a detrimental effect on cognitive function including impaired memory and difficulty concentrating. So, regular physical activity helps lower these cortisol levels, promoting a more balanced stress response and supporting optimal cognitive performance. So, one way that your cortisol levels can be raised is oftentimes with sleep. If you don't have enough sleep, that's going to naturally raise that cortisol level. So, in turn, you're not your basic brain function is not going to be all there properly. Like when you're really sleepy throughout the day or you've not rested the night before, your memory and sort of your concentration is just not all there. So that's where that increase of cortisol levels comes from. But when you have proper rest and you have physical activity in your routine, that in turn is helping to basically optimize that cognitive performance in your daily life. Alrighty, guys. So that's pretty much all for today. I hope that you found this valuable. Again, I want to touch on into some deeper topics, but I don't want these topics to be sort of go over anybody's head. I want them to be, very informative, but something that you can sort of understand in really simple layman's terms. And that's what I try to do here with these streams, is because I know that not everybody has sort of this background knowledge of fitness and how it relates to these specific parts of the body, how it relates to brain health, and what these benefits are. So that's why I'm sort of going into these in a more simple way to give you guys sort of something that you can take with you, that you can take notes of, and that you can pay attention to and be like, okay, that's what I can do if I just, make some adjustments to my routine, put more physical activity into my routine, then I can see these benefits in my daily life. And that's really all it takes. Just keep in mind, and I know we're not necessarily talking about really into detail about workouts and workouts routines, but keep in mind that just gradually getting into a routine is going to be more beneficial than, nothing at all. You don't have to really jump into a routine seeing it as being an hour long when you start off. It can be a really short routine. If it's like 30 minutes or so a day of physical activity, that's totally fine. And then from there, you can gradually increase that routine to be more. But just know that when you start to implement physical activity in your routine, you're going to see a lot of these benefits, not only about how you see your appearance, how you see yourself physically, but also how you're going to feel mentally in your workout routine. So keep that in mind, that there's so many benefits outside of just that physical appearance, that physical change basically. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. I have my phone and email here where you can contact me. As always, I do want to mention my website again. It's bponlinefitness.com. There's tons of information on there. I also have a blog that I've been working on there where you can get free information there on different various fitness topics. So be sure to check that out as well. Again, you can sign up for the email newsletter there. You can schedule your consultation there. So definitely check out that. It's a great resource, a lot of really great information there. So with all that being said, guys, thank you again for taking time to watch this live stream. We'll have another one next week. We'll have the event posted for you to RSVP to it. But again, that live stream being next Wednesday at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. So I'll see you guys then. But thank you guys for always watching these streams. It really helps out a ton. And if you could take the time, please share these streams with others who may find this helpful. So that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you again.